Power, worth, elevation, evolving, resistance, respect. I push through the pain to get to the power. I keep going to get this power. I knew that it was given to me by grace and to know my purpose. You get pushed through this pain to get to this power. That tends to give a divine scar, but the power gives you reinforcement. Pushing past the pain to let your voice be heard. Pushing past your fears to let your voice be heard. How much faith do you know to overcome your fears? You have blessing to someone to hear. There's a message in your words. There's a power in your voice. Keep pushing through your pain to keep that power. I keep my faith over fear to have the power in my voice to be heard. You have the power. You are resilient and you have the strength. Your voice is powerful and you need to know that you're powerful. Hold on to that power. Hold on to that power. Hold on to that power, which is the power in your voice. Use it to stand by grace. Use it to know your worth. And use it to be ready to show your knowledge. The power in your voice. A platform to be defined, which is inspiring, which is impeccable to give you knowledge, and which is a place for you to grow, to be walking in your purpose, being very amazing. The power in your voice. Hold on to that.
Hello, hello, and thank you for tuning in to Your Power in Your Voice. And today we know her as Coach Wade, but her first name is Tekeisha. But welcome, welcome, welcome to the platform of the Power in Your Voice where we educate, motivate, and inspire. And today we are going to focus on domestic violence because one, it is almost the end of the month, but we advocate for it daily on a daily basis. They may give us 1 month for it, but we do it 365 days a year.
Yes.
So
Yes.
can you so can you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Hey everyone, my name is Tekeisha Wade, also known as Coach Keisha. I am a domestic violence survivor, and I'm also an international certified life coach. And I specialize in narcissistic abuse recovery coaching and self care relationship and domestic violence recovery and healing. I love that God has brought me into this space where I can actually specialize in it, and it's not just through me, graduating and from coaching school. It is the experience and the Lord, the Holy Spirit that's moving in me. And I thank you so much for having me here on your show today.
Absolutely. So can you tell us, a little bit about your story? First, we can get into that dynamics and then we can talk about the red flags and all the et ceteras. But let's
Mm.
kind of, you know, can we touch a little bit on how this kind of happened?
Who? And sometimes y'all, I have to think, because throughout this abuse that I went through, it's sometimes cloudy. It was like cloudy. It had took a back seat in my mind, but I know that I had to let it out. So it's so much that happened over years in my life. So I'm gonna start with three words: trapped, darkness, and fog.
Mm,
And that's how I start my story, because I'll tell you a little bit about how I felt trapped. So, a little bit in the beginning, I felt, and y'all, I'm sorry about if y'all hear like my doorbell ring, because the ring is set up some kind of way, and I'm trying to fix it. So, y'all, I'm sorry for the noise in the background. But if I have to repeat myself, just let me know.
you're fine.
So, for me feeling trapped, I think about history, right? I go back into my history when I grew up and how it looked like, what it looked like me growing up. And it's very hard to kind of talk about because, I told my mom, I told my dad, it's just kind of scary letting this all out. And
Mhm.
that's why I had to tell them first, hey mom, hey dad, this is what I'm gonna be talking about, because the guilt sets in. But it
Right.
did start from childhood. But I had to forgive my parents for not receiving information and the awareness like we do now.
Right.
And as I grew up, I started feeling the trapped. Like I didn't know where I belonged. I felt like I was so different, and it was like I was always hungry for something. And I felt like my mom and dad, I feel like sometimes they didn't know how to nurture that.
Mhm.
So as I evolved and grew into, in my childhood, it started feeling abusive because I would see the physical fights, I would see the emotional abuse, I would see the mental abuse, but I didn't have a word that was connected to it. And so as I moved on in my adolescence, teenage years, and then that's when I started dating, I felt like those things were attached to me. At that time, now I didn't know this, but I'm just speaking from the now.
Mhm.
Now, at this time, I didn't know that I had these things lingering on, and I started dating the very words trapped, darkness, and
Mm.
fog.
Mhm.
These were the three things that was inside these relationships from that childhood experience. So as time moved on, I started noticing that I was seeking something but didn't know what it was. And so I felt like marriage. So you already a wife. You
Mhm.
know, people think that you don't have to be a wife or a bride to you don't have to be married to be a wife or a bride. You're already a wife. And that was my desire, and I know that what I was meant to have is it's be to be a wife,
Mhm.
to have a husband. So I think I was not only looking for that, but I was looking for a father. And I wanted that correction. I wanted that accountability. And so when I stumbled upon these type of men, I thought it was okay. I thought it
Mhm.
was just authority. And I was attracted to it. So I wasn't only attracted to the toxic authority and the controlling, but I was attracted to my past, my childhood experience, because
Mhm.
that's the only thing I knew. That's all I knew. So red flags was control. No, no,
Right.
no. I'm gonna put it this way. Let's back it back. That's red flags. We're gonna talk about green flags.
Legs.
The green flags was control, belittling, the darkness, being trapped, and being in the fog.
Mhm.
Those were green flags for me. So I'm maneuvering through these relationships in life feeling okay because, hey, I'm used to this.
Right.
And so the biggest and I know y'all, I like to give y'all pieces because I want to kind of line up the reason how I ended up in these three zones
Mhm.
and how I end up experiencing domestic violence. So This is hard for me to talk about, y'all, still, even though I talk about it a lot. But when I was about 20, no, 22, um, I met my then husband. We're no longer married, but I met my ex-husband. And the love bombing. So I want y'all to catch these words, because I'm telling y'all, when you go through narcissistic abuse, you're not going to understand really truly until you experience it. So it's best for me to
Right.
call these words and attach a word to it for people that
Mhm.
know these words. So first I experienced what I call the love bombing. You know, when you are a young lady that grew up in the country and didn't have much, and I'm not saying I was poor, but I wasn't middle class either. So the things that he showed me was like luxury. You
Mhm.
know, who's going to take you to these, guys never did this for me. Take me, change my tire on my car, gas up my car, bring me lunch, fill me with all this um talk, I love you, let me show you this, take you to these different concerts, and taking me to these expensive, hotels, and as we go out, and and I just thought he was so amazing. He's had things I had never seen before. And then comes, I would say, not even 2 weeks into the relationship, you sitting in a car, and then all of a sudden a female appears out of nowhere trying to grab you and snatch you out the car and telling you
Oh, wow.
that they want to kill you, basically. And you listening to, oh, that's a crazy, I want y'all to catch this. That's a
Mhm.
crazy ex-girlfriend that wants me back. I broke up with her. She's so crazy. That's why I broke up with her, because she's crazy. And she out screaming, this is who you left me for.
Mm.
So I'm like, what is going on? So as time goes on, I felt like this behavior was okay, because
Mhm.
this is what I was used to growing up.
Mhm.
So then I started experiencing the devaluation, where I started feeling like he was pulling away, because he was breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing is, he give me a little something, then he takes it away.
Take it away. Mhm.
He give me a little this, a little dab of salt and pepper, just enough, and then pull away. So I'm like, what did I do?
Right.
What's going on? So the devaluation stage, and then I started being an FBI investigator. Then that's me Googling stuff, trying to
Mhm.
find out who he's talking to, driving past his house, going through his phone, grabbing his phone, going through his phone, seeing all these women. And I see these women, and I'm looking at them like, oh, they're so pretty. So that's when I started to try to mimic them. I tried to be them. If they dress this way, I'm gonna dress this way. If their hair like this, I'm gonna wear my hair like this, because he's gonna love me better. I'm gonna make him love me. I'm gonna let him know that I'm better than these women. So as time goes on, it's different women calling my job, trying to get me fired, saying little things about, hey, that's my man, that's my fiance.
Mm.
Women showing up at my mom's house, watching my, every move. And then I broke it off with him. And then I started dating someone else. This is where I got into a deeper hole because this guy was an alcoholic. Now, pay
Mm.
mind, my childhood, my dad drank a lot. I thought that was okay. The
Mhm.
behavior was okay. And I just started, he was just constantly drinking. He was saying little nasty things to me, hateful things, calling me ugly, stupid, cheating with other women too. So I decided to leave. And by the time I was getting ready to leave one day, he took a hammer
Mm.
to my head and held it up while my baby girl, I think she was like maybe 5 or 6 years old, hollering, "Stop, stop, stop, daddy, stop." Because this was, and and all I can see is this hammer to my head. Like, I'm gonna kill you if you leave me. You cannot leave because I'm going to kill you. And I got this hammer to my head and I'm devastated. And to this day, I don't know how I escaped or what
Mm.
happened. I think because my daughter came in and he was scared and it woke him up like, oh my God, I'm about to kill her. Or what was I thinking? So I run, I leave that space. So it's a long story, y'all. And when I say I try to like put it in pieces because it's gonna be in my book. When I try not to make it too long and drawn out for the TV show, that's why I like to talk about pointers so that you can kind of understand what I went through, because some people think because you don't get hit often
Mhm.
or um, slapped or punched, you didn't go through abuse. What are you talking about? No, we talking about mental and
Mhm.
emotional abuse where
Mhm.
I've been called retarded, stupid, dumb, fat, ugly, um, attacking my intelligence, the gaslighting, making me, distorting my reality when I know the truth, you know. So that's why I open up to talk about narcissism, because I didn't know what that was.
Right, and it's
All
a
I
lot of
knew,
people that don't.
right. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If you don't listen and hear the clues, you will kind of, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, you'll kind of get bored because some people want to hear that big story about, oh, you got
Mhm.
hit and they took their hand and they you almost dead. But what people don't understand, I was mentally and spiritually dead. I was walking dead. I had to literally, so let's talk about the fog. I was literally outside of myself. I was in so much trauma and mental and emotional pain that I was literally just like I was leaving my body. And it was like your vision is distorted and you're wondering, what's going on with my brain? Why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel? When I went to the doctor, my doctor told me, if you don't go to the hospital and get seen about your mental health, I'm going to call the police and commit you
Oh,
because
wow.
you look like death.
Right.
She told me I look dead.
Mm.
And this was just from so much bottled up anger, so much pain, and all that talking, to me as if I was nothing. And then the the biggest thing is the discarding. So I talked about devaluing you. So devaluing you is where they talk to you and make you feel like you're just nothing.
Mhm.
And then the discard. The discard is the pain
Right.
because you have formed a trauma bond in a toxic attachment to this person, and they pull away from you sometimes eat quickly and sometimes very in small steps pulling away from you, and they mentally attack you because they know that they can do little things to make you feel and know that they are about to leave. So just imagine
Right.
that pain. um and I think I never got over how my ex-husband had left me and the kids. And a lot of people talk about this all the time as it was an award winning day. People talk about it. That's why you have to be careful who you speak to and tell
Mhm.
your story to, because some people take it out of context. That's why he
Right.
left you and the children, and he left you for another woman. And but they don't know what happened, and how
Right.
what me and these kids were going through.
Mhm.
And being told that I'm leaving you for another woman, and then he puts the other woman on the phone to confirm it. Just imagine that kind of hurt when you call the woman on the phone and say, hey, here she go, tell her. And she and him laughing at me, having the best time of their life.
Mm. Right.
Yeah, he that's my man. And I'm like, you know he was married? Well, no, he told me, y'all you ain't his wife. It's a fake marriage certificate. You went in on the internet and pulled it up, and the wedding photos that you have of yourself, those were pre-wedding photos. Those were just photos y'all wanted to take to show people when I tell y'all this story. That's why I just didn't know where to start tonight. I know
Right.
I was drawing on y'all, but yeah, you can just ask questions, because it's a lot.
No, I
It
believe it. And see, we ain't gonna give them all the secrets because they gotta get the book. The book is coming,
Oh
so
yeah,
they
that's
gotta
right.
get the
That's
book.
right.
So we
That's right.
not gonna get them all the secrets anyway. So what got you in? So from this dynamic, what was the day that you said enough was enough?
Let me tell you, enough was enough. First, I'm gonna tell you, I had two breaking points. Okay, the first breaking point was when my ex-husband, that story I just told
Mhm.
about him leaving me for the younger woman. Pay mind, she was 19, 20 years old. So that hit me. You leave your family, and then she was pregnant with another man's baby, while I had just had your baby.
Mm.
That was one of the breaking points. Number two,
Right.
the final breaking point is when he married another woman while he was still married to me. I was done. I was done. And the final breaking point, when he allowed her to display abuse with my children.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a
I
no
was
go.
done. And then you're still communicating with her if this
Right.
is okay. That was my breaking point right there. And
Right.
I knew that I had to bring the light, the education, because no one deserves to be hurt, and especially my children.
Right. Kids are always the major breaking points for sure.
Yes,
because it makes it clicks something in there, and it just be,
Yes,
it ain't even about me no more. It's about them.
correct. Because all I can think of is putting that S on my chest for my
Hmm.
children.
Right. Absolutely. So, what advice would you have for someone that may be going through it or maybe coming out of it on how to take their power back? Yeah, yeah. What advice I would say?
The biggest thing is finding you and loving you and developing a relationship with God. That's number one. Let me tell you, before I got out of that relationship, I had started building a greater bond with God, and I started praying more. And that's when He started delivering and
Hmm.
providing guidance and providing clarity. And then He put community around me. Know who your tribe is, because I'm going to tell you right now, you can't be alone doing this when you're trying to get out. Now, you do have some that's isolated, and they cause you to break and rift relationships where there's no one around. But you need to have some type of form of some type of contact with someone and discover again who you are. And I know now abuse, a lot of people think that physical violence,
Hmm.
you think you can't get out with someone who's physically violent. Try someone that's mentally, emotionally violent.
Right. Because
They
you still hear it after you leave.
correct. And it can turn into physical.
Hmm.
So you need a plan. And I'm talking about a plan, a well thought out plan without fear or moving the fear.
Hmm.
I suggest you read, and you know what, Shannon, and I think I be saying that, I'm so sorry, but let me tell you, I encourage though not to read too much. Once you discover that word narcissist, you get
Hmm.
excited and you
Hmm.
start listening to all these gurus, you start listening to these
Hmm.
coaches, you start listening to these different people. I need you to be careful when you're studying these things, because it can make you more confused than
Hmm.
what you really are. So I suggest that you just study it at a surface level and get kind of the idea of what you're going through and get the help. If you have the resources, or you have the the goal to get some help, do that. And again, it's hard to get out of these things. and
Right.
and and I just say it's situational, because it depends on the type of, because I've been I was in one of the relationships where I was financially abused, where I had quit my job and everything, and I had no funding,
Mm.
had no
Yeah.
car, and had to get back on my feet. So
Right.
it is situational, and that's why I say, if you got the means to call somebody and ask for help, or get someone to ask for the help for you, do that.
Hmm. Yeah, and definitely, like you said, you need a plan, because if you don't have a plan, then it's like some people end up going back. Because one, say if it was financial, they'll end up going back because, oh, I'm out here on the streets, I don't got nowhere to go, I got, and don't have kids, because they're gonna go back, well, my kids need shelter. So definitely they do need a plan. I definitely agree about that. They definitely do need to figure it out, and know when enough is enough, and don't just accept what is given to you. And like you said, find yourself, because a lot of times we lose ourselves in the midst of going through that fog and that trap and that darkness. So absolutely. I see
Yes.
you called them, look, you called them green flags. So is there any green flags that people need to, I know everybody's situation is different. So besides the trap, the fog, and the darkness? Is there
Mhm.
in the control and isolation? Is there any other green flags that people might need to look out for?
Um, I would say be careful, and I want to say, and I call them green flags when you've been through the abuse before, and
Hmm.
it's
Right.
you used to it, but that red that red flag is what it is you have to listen to their conversation, because you got to listen for the manipulative tactics. I know people don't want to be that, I don't want to always, every time I talk to someone, I got to be that where you, nowadays, you got to be very aware. I'm going to tell you, when you hear a man constantly talk about, and you're not even married to him, and you're not even thinking about marriage or courtship yet, and he's already throwing the words out there, submissive, watch that. A man should not be talking to you about submission right at a point of dating you. Watch for the words that they say. Look for the manipulative tactics. Be careful when they talk about the ex person a lot. No accountability. They didn't tell their part. They're always saying what he or she did, versus let me tell you why I allowed it, or let me tell
Hmm.
you what I did for it to lead to this. The why, not
Right.
the blame, the shift, the blaming. Um, Another red flag, when it's okay to move at a pace that you feel comfortable with. But when you feel like they moving too fast and you get that eerie feeling, especially with that love bomb, and I'm talking about the unhealthy love bombing, where they are just overly asking questions like, what's your love language? They
Right.
start asking all these numerous of questions. Be careful when they want to always, oh no, 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 they don't want to talk. Oh no, we ain't got to talk about me. Let's talk about you. You got to make sure they're not collecting
Right.
they collecting facts about you, or a collection of
In,
bombs to
information.
throw at you so they can get back at you
Hmm.
when
Right.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, because that definitely that part, like how some people like to be an open book and they like to share everything, and then that'll be the main
Mhm.
thing they take and throw back at you, and oh well, blah blah blah, or absolutely, yeah, you have to be careful of somebody that just
Yes.
want to talk about you and, like you said, collecting the bones. I
Yes,
definitely
collecting the
agree.
bones. And the
Definitely
darkness,
agree.
you're going to feel the darkness, because you're going to feel like it's a cloud over you at all times. That's why I like to use those three words, because
Mm.
you're going to feel trapped. That's a flag. If you feel like you're confused and you feel like, oh my God, I got to get out of this, but oh, and then you started feeling, like and it's so hard to explain the fog, because it's like you're confused. Okay, the best way, you're confused all the time. The fog is
Right.
confusion.
Or
You're
they
confused
or
all.
I would say some of that is when people they try to make it seem it's always your fault when you right. It's like they
Yeah,
confusing you, like what's going on, but they trying to make you crazy.
right, right. Or they confuse you with the relationship. Like, they
Mhm.
hot and cold. 1 minute you're in a relationship, and the next you
Next
feel
minute
like,
you
well,
don't know.
doggone, I thought we were best. Right.
Right.
And then the darkness, you just feel that cloud. You feel like doomsday, because they make you feel that way.
Right.
But yeah, I know it's a lot of tips.
It is.
If you follow me, you'll have to come, so I can
You
give you a
got
little bit more
look.
detail.
They got to come check out Coach Keisha.
Yeah, we talking surface level. Wait till we get into the deeper
Right.
dive.
Now, when is the book coming out?
So it's aiming before December 25th, before Christmas.
Okay.
My beautiful publisher, I love her so much. She is my sister, and she's getting everything ready. Because I had to release it to her, because I was gonna do my own editing.
Mhm.
God said, no, I need you to release because
Right.
the more I sat there, I was delaying.
Mhm.
So hopefully no later than December 25th because I'm pushing it.
So what's the title?
Woo, the
Oh, you're not
secret,
giving us
y'all.
the title.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell y'all. When I tell you the title, I have to literally look at it because I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all don't. Let me tell you, trauma is real.
It is.
Trauma is real, and when you try to put those thoughts in the back of your head, you don't even because I'm telling y'all this book. So it's. I was trying to put it up so y'all can see the cover. I got my background.
It's the wedding dress and the
It's
guy.
his secret life with the secret wife.
Okay.
It's
Gotcha.
his secret life with the
With the
secret
secret wife.
wife. And you gonna know why. When you buy this book, because I don't want to give too much,
Mm-mm.
I want you to just think about it. His secret life with the secret wife.
Mm. I can't wait for December. I gotta check that out.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. Let me tell you, the things in that book. I promise you would thinking I was living in what is the movie? I'm gonna just say a movie. I can't even think of is it MGM?
Right.
You would think I was in a
Just in a
movie that
movie.
I was an actress playing through. Yeah, because you're gonna be like, what? And I'm gonna tell you, I had an aha moment
Mhm.
throughout the writing of me right book. And I looked at I look at myself now and I said, one day I called my friend. I said, girl, what was wrong with me? I can't believe what?
We
I,
have those
I said,
moments.
I can't believe this. I
Right.
actually let myself go through that.
But going through that, a lot of times it felt normal because of the normalization from things that you were dealing with. So that felt normal at the time. So in that moment, like you said, being in that fog, being in that darkness, being trapped in that
Yeah.
moment, it felt normal, especially like you've been dealing with it since childhood. So it was normalization for you, you know?
Yes.
So
Walking in
absolutely,
darkness is okay.
yeah. So it was just like, oh, okay, this is normal. So, ain't nothing wrong going on, but when you
Yeah.
come out of it
It's
and you, like you said, when you write the book and then you look back, you're like, wow,
like,
I
what
really,
is
I really, right. You ask yourself, like, what, but see, what it is now your mindset has shifted and changed. You're not that person anymore. You were someone else then. So within the growth and the ability to go through what you went through and to grow and learn things about yourself and loving on yourself and, you know, all
mm-hmm.
these things, we are now seeing the outside in. Instead of being in it, we're outside of it and looking in it. Like,
Right,
wow. Oh, yeah.
right.
Yep.
It's hard, but
It is.
look at me now because
Right.
if I showed y'all pictures, and I'm gonna try to see if I can find some pictures to put in the book,
And in the book.
and yeah, where y'all can see me from then and now. Like I had bags under my eyes. I look like, how they say you can tell a narcissist or a psychopath, a sociopath just in
Mhm.
their eyes. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all something. That's not always true because when you look at a trauma victim, that in their eyes, they're in space.
Right. Yeah.
So I just look like a total different person.
Yeah, like I totally understand because I went through this process, so I
Yeah.
understand.
So
The yeah because I look back at pictures and you look like a totally different person, and
yeah,
at that moment, like you said, the bags, you lose weight, you look like a whole, like your face looks smaller, darker, just it's a lot. So I
yeah.
understand. It's a whole
I was
nother moment.
I mean, I was at what, 99 pounds.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
But
a
look at
hundred
you
and
now.
yes.
Look at you now. Look at the glow up now. So it has been a transformation, but you made it. You know, and this is one reasons why I
Man.
talk about domestic violence because there's some people that didn't make it. Some people that's not here to speak about it. So I'm happy that we are here to advocate for the ones that can't talk or are afraid to speak, so that we can get them and
Yes.
grow them out of those situations and those moments to become on the other side, because I call it the glow up after the grow up.
Here you go. Right here. This is us. You see both of us. Is it easy to talk
Absolutely.
about? No.
No.
You see me. And this is why I love my sister here, because she allowed me to speak and allow me to speak through whatever I was feeling. It wasn't scripted.
Hmm.
It wasn't these, I'm gonna throw these questions out at you and you just make up this story. No, this is an example on the show tonight that no matter how you tell your story is your story. Tell it, because I don't care how you think somebody gonna feel. Oh my God, they probably think I'm boring. Don't let the enemy get you, because it's somebody out here going to resonate with you. Come on her show, talk. And I even tell people, I had got to the point sometimes I was just gonna do a black screen and let somebody hear my voice. You don't even have to put your face on the screen.
Nope, you
Just
sure don't,
talk.
because we can put it on the audio when you just have the icon up and you can tell your story. My doors are open.
You got it raw in live right here.
Any last words before we end the show? And then also
Yeah.
make sure you tell them how to connect with you, and tell them about the book that you have with your co-authors as well too.
Oh yes,
I
y'all.
got
Yes,
you.
yes, yes. So I'm a visionary author. Yes, the visionary author is a book collaboration with my beautiful sisters. The Power of Breaking the Silence, the Blueprint of a Survivor. It's a compilation of um women who are survivors decided to say yes and heal out loud. And y'all, let me tell you, some of their stories in there you won't believe. Some were actually to the point where I believe one was, I mean, this close to death. I think,
Mm,
I mean, when I say close, close. I got so excited. Um, Also, you can find me at Coach Keisha W. Coach Keisha, Keishaw on Instagram. Also, I'm on here on Facebook. Tekeisha Wade. My name is spelled right there. I also have a website, www.openarms connection.com. And I just want to leave this with you. You are being heard. You are you are heard. We hear your voice even when you don't speak. And it's okay to ask for help. And let's get out that mindset of what stays in the house. What stays in the house never leaves the house. Those tainted family secrets. Let it out. You can't keep that stuff built in. Talk about that toxic father. Talk about that home that you grew up in. Let those family secrets out. Let that baggage, drop that baggage so that you can walk in freedom. It's time for you to move in your freedom and walk in yourself, in the healing that God wants you to have. So I'm telling you tonight, Just be you and be okay with who you are in this moment. Be okay with that. And be okay with starting over. I've reset every day, y'all. I'm going to be honest with you. I have to reset every day. Be okay with your reset. That's all I have, y'all. Because if not, I'll keep talking. I love you.
As always, it's been an honor having you here, Tekeisha, better known as Coach Keisha in the building, advocate for domestic violence, self coach. Look, coach of survivors, all the above, and a lot of hats that she has. And her book is coming in December. So make sure y'all get that book. And she has the coach, she has the visionary project that she has out now. So make sure y'all connect with her, vibe with her. If there's somebody out there that needs help, that's looking for an out for domestic violence, there's 1-800 numbers, there's resources. So if you don't know, you can connect with one
Yes.
of us. If we don't know, we can connect you with someone else that can connect you to where you need to go. So we are always here. We're out here advocating for you. And always remember, just because October is the National Domestic Violence Month, always remember 365 days there's domestic violence that's going on. So
Yes.
we are out here advocating every day, all the time, 24/7. As always, I have been your girl,
Mhm.
Sheena Gadine, better known as the lady behind the mask. This have been the voice, the power in your voice. You can find me on Facebook as the lady behind the mask or my regular name, Sheena Gadine. It's spelled SHANAGOURDINE. You can find me on Instagram at the lady behind the mask 22. You can find me on my website at www.sheenaunmastermotivation.com, or you can email me at sheenaunmastermotivation@gmail.com or sgodine16@gmail.com. As always, an honor. I'm here to educate, inspire, and motivate. And I thank y'all, and tune in next time. Have a good night.
Bye.
Life struggles. When life tries to fight you back, you have to be ready to fight back. You have to be ready to stand your ground and be able to. Unfortunately, life is and bold. We learned that there are people that do not